I should have stayed home. As I sat in the middle of this conflict that shouldn't have even been a conflict, I should have stayed home, but I didn't. A couple hours earlier, I was sitting in front of my Sega Genesis playing Bulls versus Blazers. We were winning against the Orlando Magic, which we hadn't done all season, and my brother comes in. My brother comes in and says, bro, I need you to go to the park with me. I said, cool, I'm almost done with the game. It's like a few minutes left. He said, no, we need to leave now. I said, bro, it's another quarter left. You know I can't hold the game. He said, bro, I really need to go up here and get this thing. Now, you got to understand, my brother is my best friend in the world, and I always got his back. He always got mine. And the park can sometimes get dangerous, so of course, I paused the game. Now, as any gamer knows, you don't pause the Sega Genesis game. Why? Because shit will freeze. But I paused it, I turned the TV off to save the electricity, and I go with my brother to the park. My brother does his business at the park, meets up with whoever he had to meet up with or what have you. And because he's like second city all basketball, he gets asked to play in one of the pickup games. Well, they're a man short, and guess who he asked? Right. He asked me. He says, bro, it's only going to be one game. 5 games later, we're sweating, I'm into it, and what have you. And there's always a moment where you think you should get off the court, you think you should leave. There's a moment everybody's had in life where they know they should have left from somewhere. And this was that moment, because 5 guys who were renowned vice lords got on the court smelling like a brewery. Now, here's quick gang lore in Chicago on the south side you need to know. On the east side of the train tracks at 75th and Exchange, everybody who wore their hat to the right, gangster disciples and what have you, lived. On the west side, everybody wore their hat to the left, Blackstones, Vice Lords, whatever, they lived on that side. It was an uneasy truce. People from the west side of the tracks could come over, come play basketball, come swim, whatever the case may be, but you couldn't stop on any of the streets in between. That was GD territory. Guilt by association, we lived on that side, on the east side, so you were automatically assumed to be GD. All right, back to the story. So these guys came on, and immediately, I'm a notorious trash talker to this day. But even more, when I was even more of an athlete, a basketball player, I could dunk and everything like that, I was a huge trash talker. I'm trashing, I'm talking. It's got relatives, it's got genitalia, it's got everything in it. Till finally it culminates in me saying, hey, Lance, your mom said you got to go over your cousins tonight. He says, what? I said, yeah, your mom said you got to go over your cousins tonight. And he's like, why? I said, because, well, she wants me to come over, and when we're fucking, she doesn't want you to hear the noises that she makes, which results in a basketball upside my head. We're in fisticuffs, just fighting. At some point, the fighting gets a little heavy. People start to run and leave us. And my brother and I, because we're best friends, we make eye contact. Nonverbal communication says, run. So we do. Now, my brother is an all-city athlete. Boom, he takes off. This is my second year teaching. And you know I'm in decent shape. I'm not in that good shape. So I take off, woof, like a tortoise. I go to South Shore Drive, and these guys are behind me. But I know this is like in the evening, early, like 7 o'clock. Nobody's going to do anything to anybody on a big street like South Shore Drive, which turns into Lakeshore Drive. But we're south. Ever. Nobody's going to do it. So I start walking, I'm breathing. Ooh, that got out of hand. The next thing you know, I hear somebody say, hey, motherfucker. And I turn and look. And it's Lance and these other Blackstone and Vice Lords. They're in this Pontiac Bonneville, like 1988, 89, the big box window, what have you, and they're bumping music. And what was so wild about this, they were bumping this music, and it was Phil Collins. And I was like, oh, shoot, well, maybe they came to chill until they just started bang, 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 and shooting. I took off. I ran back through the park. I cut up. I think they wouldn't follow me to the park. They ran up on the sidewalk and came through. I come back across 77. All I had to do was get to 76 and Cole. I'm on 77. I'm thinking I lost them. I'm coming down the street. Next you know, bang, 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 splat. Right on the side of my leg. I limp to 76th Street, but I won't make it to Coles. They're stalking me, and they get out the car, and they're close to me. And all of a sudden, a police car comes up. And the guy, a black cop, says, hey, aren't you Mrs. Gordon's son who owns the hardware? I'm like, yeah, that's me. He said, man, get your ass in the car. What happened? Was you trying to hoop? I said, yeah, I tried to dunk. He said, man. He looked at Lance and said, man, hey, go on your way, man. What you doing? You can't park out on the street like that. And he took me home. My dad who saw me, he was frank. What happened? Blah, 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 blah. I told him I tried to dunk a basketball. He said, Bobo. My nickname is Bobo. You know you don't dunk anymore. You got to leave that alone. I said, yeah, Dad, you're right. They take me, we get sewn up and everything like that, and we like, there's no place like home. And we're safe, and I turn on the TV and turn back on the whatchamacallit, and of course it stopped. It's frozen. Thank you.